Have you ever wondered why friendships seem less crucial as you get older? Especially after hitting 70, many of us discover a surprising truth. We don't actually need friends to thrive. It might sound unusual at first, but embracing independence and putting yourself first can truly enhance your quality of life. Today, I'm going to share 6 powerful reasons why embracing independence can be incredibly fulfilling after 70. Here's the truth. Stepping away from social obligations after 70 isn't lonely. It's liberating. Imagine this. No more pressure to attend events you're not interested in, no forced interactions, and no need to keep up appearances for others. Embracing independence isn't about isolation. It's about choosing meaningful solitude and genuinely enjoying your own company. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why letting go of unnecessary friendships can actually enhance your happiness, health, and overall quality of life. Let's dive into reason number 1. 1. You no longer need validation from others. In your younger days, friendships often revolved around seeking acceptance, inclusion, or validation. But now, after decades of experiences, you've built your own self-worth and identity. The beauty of reaching your 70s is realizing that external validation is no longer necessary to feel fulfilled. You're free from the anxiety of worrying about others' opinions, and this newfound freedom allows you to live authentically. Take Harold, for instance, a man in his early 70s who spent years maintaining friendships that revolved mostly around his career. Initially, he struggled to let go, feeling obligated to keep connections alive. But soon, Harold realized something profound. These friendships weren't rooted in genuine connections. They were based on convenience and circumstance. Once he accepted this, he shifted his energy toward passions that truly enriched his life, like gardening, reading, and traveling. Without the burden of superficial friendships, Harold found deeper satisfaction and genuine peace. This is the key insight. When you stop chasing friendships out of obligation, you make room for deeper self-awareness and personal growth. After 70, it's time to prioritize your own happiness, free from external pressures. You no longer have to prove yourself to anyone, because the only approval that truly matters now is your own. 2. Peace becomes more valuable than socializing. As you age, something remarkable happens. Peace begins to hold greater value than social interaction. Remember those days when socializing felt essential? The noise, the gatherings, the endless conversations. Back then, being surrounded by people seemed synonymous with a fulfilling life. But now quiet has taken its rightful place at the top of your priorities. This isn't just ordinary quiet. It's the kind of peaceful solitude that allows you to truly relax, free from unnecessary drama, exhausting commitments, and superficial relationships. Let's consider Margaret, who at 74 had always enjoyed an active social life. Lunch dates, group chats, holiday celebrations. Her schedule was always full. However, as years went by, she noticed these interactions became draining rather than fulfilling. Conversations turned repetitive, filled with gossip or complaints rather than meaningful exchange. The joy of socializing had become a tiring routine. One day, Margaret made a bold decision. She stopped saying yes out of obligation. She began to embrace moments of quiet, prioritizing activities that genuinely made her happy. Longer walks, more time in nature, and finally reading those books she'd put aside for years. Margaret soon discovered solitude wasn't lonely. It was refreshing and empowering. The constant pressure to maintain superficial friendships disappeared, replaced by inner peace and genuine enjoyment of her own company. That's the real beauty of this life stage. You don't have to keep up socially just to feel connected or accepted. Choosing peace over constant social obligations allows you to find deeper contentment, joy, and tranquility from within. Remember this: if you've ever felt guilty for pulling back from social commitments, you're not isolating yourself. You're embracing a deeper, more fulfilling form of happiness. one that doesn't rely on anyone else. This peace only deepens and grows more rewarding as the years go by. If these insights resonate with you, I'd love it if you comment peace below to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss valuable insights like these. Now let's move forward. 3. Fewer friendships mean fewer disappointments. One of the toughest truths we learn as we grow older is that not every friend is genuinely there when it counts. You've likely experienced this. Friendships drifting apart, support fading when you needed it most, or relationships becoming noticeably one-sided. By the time you're in your 70s, it's clear that fewer friendships don't just simplify your social life, they significantly reduce your chances of disappointment. Every friendship carries expectations. Returning phone calls, showing emotional support, or simply being present during life's ups and downs. But when those expectations go unmet, disappointment inevitably follows. Perhaps you've experienced reaching out repeatedly, only to be ignored. Or maybe you've noticed that your efforts aren't equally returned. At this point in life, who needs such unnecessary stress? Consider William, who's now 78. Throughout his life, William cultivated numerous friendships. Over time, however, he noticed a painful pattern. Many friendships only thrive because he made constant efforts. When he stepped back, these connections quickly dissolved. Initially, this hurt deeply, prompting him to question himself. But soon William realized an important truth. He wasn't the issue. He had merely decided to stop investing in relationships that weren't mutual. This is precisely the benefit of maintaining fewer friendships. Fewer unmet expectations mean fewer disappointments. You no longer need to feel hurt when someone doesn't check in, or frustrated when friendships fade. Instead, you can direct your energy toward relationships that truly nourish your soul, connections that are effortless, joyful, and fulfilling. Whether it's spending more quality time with family, deepening a few close bonds, or simply enjoying your own company. Prioritizing genuine connections brings greater peace. So if friendships have started to feel more draining than rewarding, remember, simplifying your social circle is not withdrawing. It's intentionally choosing authenticity and tranquility. Letting go of superficial ties frees you from disappointment and opens the door to more meaningful relationships, including the most important one, your relationship with yourself. 4. Your time becomes more precious as you get older. As you age, something extraordinary happens. You start recognizing that time truly is your most valuable resource. In younger years, it often felt like there was an endless supply, time to socialize, maintain friendships, and even worry about who's in or out of your life. But once you reach your 70s, the value of every moment becomes crystal clear, making you naturally more selective about how and with whom you spend your time. Maintaining friendships requires significant effort, calls, visits, social commitments, all of which can feel increasingly demanding. While some friendships are deeply rewarding, many others are simply holdovers from past routines or social expectations rather than genuine, fulfilling connections. Now more than ever, it's essential to ask yourself, does this friendship truly enrich my life, or does it feel more like an obligation? Take Richard, for example, a lively man in his early 80s who once thrived in an active social environment, filled with dinners, events, and frequent chats. However, as he aged, he noticed these interactions becoming less enjoyable and more exhausting. Conversations once lively now felt repetitive and draining. One afternoon, amid another tedious gathering filled with trivial conversations, Richard experienced a powerful moment of clarity. He no longer wanted to spend his precious time this way. From that moment, he began saying no more often, prioritizing activities that genuinely made him happy, like reading books, exploring nature, and engaging in lifelong learning. He discovered an unexpected truth. Solitude wasn't lonely at all. It was liberating and deeply fulfilling. Richard realized he was happier because he was finally spending his precious time exactly how he wanted. This is the key insight. Letting go of unnecessary friendships doesn't isolate you. It empowers you to reclaim your time. By consciously choosing how to spend your valuable moments, you invest in your happiness and personal fulfillment rather than fulfilling the expectations of others. So whenever you question if a friendship is worth your time, remind yourself, you've earned the right to spend your precious moments exactly as you wish. Prioritize your joy, peace, and personal satisfaction, because your time is yours alone, and there's no better time than now to truly embrace it. 5. True companionship comes from within. A common myth about aging is that happiness relies on maintaining a wide circle of friends. Yet the reality is simpler and deeper. The most meaningful companionship is cultivated within yourself. By your 70s, you've gathered a wealth of experience and self-awareness, revealing an empowering truth. You alone are enough. Society often confuses solitude with loneliness, but they are not the same. Many older individuals find happiness by embracing solitude, recognizing it as a pathway to self-discovery, reflection, and inner peace. Take Eleanor, 76, who believed happiness required constant social interaction. She filled her days with gatherings, only to find herself exhausted and unfulfilled by superficial relationships. Realizing this, she changed her approach and began to cherish time spent alone. She found joy in peaceful walks, reading quietly in cafes, and reflective evenings. This new practice brought Eleanor unprecedented freedom and fulfillment. The true secret is that companionship isn't about the number of friends you have, but how deeply comfortable and content you are with yourself. When you no longer rely on others for emotional fulfillment, genuine connections naturally arise. Relationships that respect your independence, align with your values, and enhance your inner peace. If you worry stepping away from certain friendships will lead to loneliness, remember this truth: the richest companionship already exists within you. Embrace it, and you'll discover you're never truly alone. 6. Letting go opens the door to a more fulfilling life. One powerful realization after turning 70 is the strength and beauty found in letting go. It's about freeing yourself from friendships that no longer bring joy, rejecting the idea that your social circle defines your worth, and embracing solitude without associating it with loneliness. Releasing these outdated expectations opens the door to simplicity, freedom, and profound contentment. Many cling to friendships out of habit or obligation, attending gatherings that no longer bring pleasure, and maintaining relationships purely because they always have. Imagine redirecting that energy toward activities that genuinely make you happy. Consider James, who in his late 70s believed an active social life was key to aging gracefully. Despite his efforts, social interactions left him drained and disconnected. Realizing this, he chose to let go of friendships that no longer resonated, shifting his focus toward nature, new hobbies, and quiet introspection. In doing so, James discovered greater joy, freedom, and inner peace. Letting go doesn't isolate. It creates space for authentic joy and deeper fulfillment. True happiness isn't measured by your number of friends, but by how aligned your life is with your genuine desires. Embracing this perspective enriches your life, making your days rewarding and meaningful. Letting go is about gaining clarity, freedom, and purpose. If you question certain friendships, honestly ask yourself, do they genuinely enhance your happiness, or are you holding on out of habit? Allow yourself the freedom to release these obligations, and you'll find life becomes simpler, lighter, and infinitely more rewarding. Reflect deeply on this truth. Stepping away from unfulfilling friendships isn't about loneliness. It's about choosing peace over social pressure and embracing the life you genuinely wish to lead. Perhaps you've already begun enjoying the peace that comes with fewer social demands or discovered the richness of your own company. We would love to hear your thoughts. Which part of today's message stood out to you the most? Have you already begun simplifying your social circle? Has this video offered you a new perspective on prioritizing your own happiness and peace? Please leave a comment below sharing one insight you gained today and how you plan to implement it in your life. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and motivating, helping us create more inspiring and meaningful content. If you've enjoyed this video and found it beneficial, remember to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might appreciate these insights. Your support allows us to continue providing thoughtful content designed to enhance your life. Thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again in our next video.